Hey there, everyone. This is Matt Curry, and you're watching Becoming Great. It's August 18th, 2014. Today, I just want to make a little bit of a quick lesson. This one isn't going to be a how to do X, how to do Y. Today is going to be about staying hungry and what it means to need to succeed and need to meet your goals. I just want to kind of go over this because today I was actually unfortunate enough to spend about 4.5 hours in a body shop just to get some repairs on my car. Was not expecting to be that long. Life happens. But I was able to have a nice discussion with an older gentleman, and this is something that I have sentiments for. And we are discussing people in my generation, people who were born in the late 80s, early to mid 90s, and maybe even a little bit later. Um, for a lot of people in my generation, we're not hungry for success. We're not hungry to do whatever it takes to make sure that we do everything that's needed to get everything done. When I say that we need to be hungry, what I'm trying to say is that you need to have that desire to do whatever it takes to make sure that you get your job done. For some people, it might be getting a second job. For others, it might be finding that scholarship. For those, it could be that you have to study an extra hour a night. These are things that you need to do in order for you to make sure all of your goals are met. And you need to not only want to have to do all these things and want to meet your goals, but that's something that you need to have. I know for myself, there was a bit of period that after I graduated, I didn't really know what I wanted to do with life. I couldn't get a job because I didn't have experience. And, I kind of had the little bout of me being down. But I made sure that it wasn't the end. It wasn't the last of, everything I had to do. So what I did was I spent the next 2 3 months trying to figure out what I needed, and I personally worked overnight while working during the day too. That the emptiness of not having a job for me really struck home. After years of working and not really being happy with what I did, I had to. This is my cat Nubs. I had to realize that working was a part of who I am, and that needing to work actually was something that I didn't realize was a part of me, but it did. And ever since then, I've made sure to do whatever it took to get done things for myself and make sure that my goals were met. So be hungry, need. You have to need to succeed. You can't just want to get everything done. You have to need to get it done. Um, if you don't understand that, if that doesn't seem like it makes sense, give it time. It will when you need to make sure that your kids are fed, when you need to make sure that your spouse is okay, when you need to make sure that you have a roof over your head. That's when things tend to make sense, and when your priorities get straightened out. The parties with your friends don't mean a lot when you don't have a home to go to at the end of it. The nights with that beautiful girl or that really handsome guy, they don't mean a lot when you're not sure what you're going to do the next day to pay, like which bill you're going to pay to keep your lights on, or are you going to eat that day. Those are some things that not everyone needs to experience to understand what it means to not have the basics of living. But I know for myself and for a lot of people, it actually does take not having these things to understand how much we truly want them. um, so if anyone ever tells you that you're not doing enough, you're being lazy, please don't ever take it as an offense to you. Just take it as a breath of wisdom from somebody who hasn't had or who has had hard times and understands that it does take more than just dreams and desires to get things done. It takes dedication, and it takes a will of somebody who says that I know what it's like to not have, and I never want to be there ever again. So, on that note, today, even though I was stuck in a Pep Boys for 4 hours, I actually was able to spend that time productively. I bring a book wherever I go. I was able to read a quarter of my book. I was actually reading The Guide of an Effective Manager. I personally like reading things like that. It helps me to become more of an effective person, more effective worker. And also, because I am writing a book, it's nice to read about how to be an effective person, how to be a successful person. And it's also nice to see how to write a type of book like this. I'm noticing that the way the author breaks things down, there are certain breaks, not just information. There might be information, a little anecdote, some more information to expand upon it. And, these books aren't necessarily have to be very long, but having these anecdotes in your story helps to break things down. So, again, I use it as a learning tool to keep myself motivated, to make myself more efficient, but also I'm using it now as a writing tool. So it's always fantastic to be able to multi-purpose one thing and do multiple things at your time. So while my car was getting fixed, I was making sure that my life is getting fixed. So what are you doing back there? Come on. So anyway, I'm just gonna leave him right there. In addition to that, when I got home, I was able to get back to work. This is my Monday, and my Monday routine is to do my homework for the class, write some discussions, make sure to get everything out of the class done out of the way that I can. That's small in order to get the later things done. So I was able to do that, and I'm happy to say I was able to do it. That I got it done. I think I did a good job. Not to brag or nothing. And I actually got my assignment back that I was worried about that paper. There were some issues with it. I wasn't able to email my professor, but the professor said that it's okay. There were some email issues, and I actually got 100% on the paper. So, go me. Because of this, and because I'm in week 8 out of week 11, I decided to just say, hey, you know what? Let's calculate my grade if I just failed everything else and didn't do anything else in the class. I would actually get 52%. So I would fail the class at week 8 if I did nothing else. But if I managed to do all my discussion questions, I've managed to do all the homework, which is only an additional 80 points throughout the rest of the semester because it's 20 points a week. And I've been getting 100%. So I said, you know what? Why would that change? Let me get 100 on that. And I said, you know what? I have 2 final exams, and I have 1 more paper left. So if I were to just guesstimate that I got an 80% on both of these items, which I got a 90% on the one paper, or I've gotten a 95 and 100% on the paper, and I've also gotten a 90% on the other exam. So if I were to get a B, if I were to get 10% lower on the exam, and if I were to get almost 15% lower than my other assignments, so a grade and a half lower, or a grade or plus lower on both sides, I actually would finish up with a 92. So as long as I do a job that's even less than what I'm doing now, or up to snuff, then I'm going to pretty much have a, not guaranteed A, but a very comfortable A. One of the most important things that I say to people is that you need to put the effort in first before you see the rewards later on, especially when it comes to classwork. If you can put the time in consistently and make sure that you're not playing catch up every week, at the end, you're not so stressed because there's not as much to do. I don't need to have a 95% on everything in order to get a 80 or an 82%. I need 80% to be able to get a 90% at the end of the semester. So it's a good feeling to have when you kind of work ahead, and then when you take a break, you see that you're about 60 to 70% over. what is your grade looking like? And it makes things a lot easier to put into perspective and say, I don't need to rush myself to get everything done. So that's always good. And so that's actually all I did today. Tomorrow I'm planning on writing more of my book, do maybe a little bit of German. I really want to get back into it. I kind of took this weekend off. Uh, there was some good times, there were some bad times, but it all worked out and life goes on. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. Make sure to stay hungry. Make sure that you want to become successful and that you need to become successful. If not for yourself, then for others. But this is Matt Curry. Thanks again for watching. You watch Becoming Great, and have a good one.